Charmaine, and my guest today gained notoriety when he was a contestant on American Idol. And he's here today to talk about his new single entitled Don't Be Afraid. I want you to help me welcome Mr. Jeremy Rosado to the show. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, and welcome to the show. I see you. You know, you've been doing big things since American Idol, so we're going to talk about all of that. So if in case people don't remember you, can you let everybody know what season were you on American Idol?
I was on this last season of American Idol, season 11. Jennifer Lopez was still there. Well, my Jennifer Lopez was still there, so you would know me from then.
I loved you on the show. I loved your spirits. I was really happy when they said you were going to be coming on the show today. And you auditioned for American Idol several times. And that's one thing I loved about you. I loved your tenacity. What made you want to continue to go back and audition? And remind the audiences, how many times did you actually audition?
Yeah, I actually auditioned. I guess it was 5 times I auditioned for American Idol over a span of like 3 seasons. So I auditioned like twice in one season. I won every season. I ended up in the same spot. I never made it past the very first round of producers. And, every time I went, it was a dream. And I was hoping for the best, praying for the best. But when it didn't happen, of course, people in my life, my family, my church family also, they were starting to say, maybe this isn't what God has for you. Maybe this isn't His will in your life. Maybe you should just give up the American Idol thing and just focus more on the worship and the ministry in the church. And I was thinking to myself, my God, why can I not get this off my heart? If this isn't what you want me to be doing, Lord, then why is it that this thing is so heavy on me? So I went this last season, and, I looked at my mom. I said, Ma, here we go. I've been praying. I told the Lord, I said, Lord, even if it doesn't happen, I will still love you no matter what. And then if it's not meant for me, close it, stop it. Don't let me go. Don't let me make it. And if it is, Father, just I pray you would open every door and let me go as far as, my mom always says, you go as far as the Lord says. And He did, and I made it far, pretty far, past over 100,000 people. So it was crazy. It was a dream come true, and I never gave up because I had been dreaming about the show since I was like 10 years old, and yeah, that's live a dream.
Now, I wanted to ask you, how has you being a contestant on American Idol, how has it changed your life? Has it impacted your life at all? Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh, I get to do stuff like this. I get to do radio shows. It's obviously American Idol is the biggest talent show in the world. Mm-hmm. It's still the number 1 TV show in the world, and all you need is a little bit of it to have a platform to start from. And I thank God, I give God the glory for letting me get my dream and giving me the best starting point I could ask for. I needed a platform. I needed somewhere to start. Not that God could do it from the bottom, but this is, I believe, the door that He opened for me to make it. And, just this past year, just this 1 year, I've done a good 70, 80 concerts, events, shows. It's changed my life. I don't work a regular job anymore. This gets to be my source of income, my life now. It's just, doing the music. And even more now, it's the ministry and stepping into what God has truly, I believe, called me to do. So it's been so extraordinarily changed my life. It has.
And that's what I loved about you being on the show. You were a Christian and you wasn't afraid to share your faith. And that's the thing that really inspired me. And for all of those that are listening, because we're going to get into your new single as well, but I want you to take us into the day in the life of an American Idol contestant when you're on the show. Since we don't get a chance to get a lot of American Idol contestants on the show, just give us the background of it. What is your day like? I know the day is busy because you guys have rehearsals and commercials. So tell us about that. Excuse me, the behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's like a nonstop thing. The fans of the show, the people that watch the show, I never actually thought it would be as much work as it was. But when I was just watching the show from home, you wake up extra early in the morning. You got a roommate. Colton Dixon was my roommate, who's doing amazing things for the Lord right now. By the way, I'm so proud of him. And you start off your day. The two of you, whoever's your roommate, you meet with the rest of the contestants. You get in the bus. It depends on the day of the week. Some days it was photo shoots from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. at night. Some days it was recording. Some days it was both. Some days you had to go to Interscope Records, where Jimmy Iovine was, and some days it was rehearsal at the studio. It was it was crazy. I mean, the hardest work of my life, and I would have, I would do it all over again. I fell in love with hard work, and I never thought I would ever see it in my life, but I really, really did. It's like music 101 or being a recording artist boot camp type deal. It's really draining, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Do you still keep in contact with some of your castmates on the show?
I do. I talk to Colton a lot, and Jessica's probably my number one. Jessica Sanchez, I talk to almost every day, and I talk to Joshua still. Shannon LeGrand, I talk to a lot. So yeah, you become family with these people. People don't see that we did our first audition a year before the finale, so we were together a year. You know what I mean? Like, and then when you're over there, I wasn't a minor. I didn't have any family yet. You only have each other. So it's crazy. You get brothers and sisters for life. I thank God that Colton Dixon was my roommate because we were able to talk about our faith, and I was able to listen to my worship music in the morning like I always do, and not have anybody tell me to turn it off. And I was able to pray with someone, and I was able to lean on someone. So I think God definitely put that together for me so that I would have like a backbone there.
Because my kids are Colton Dixon fans. My daughters, they want posters on their walls. I don't know. So ask Colton if you have any posters, because my daughters, they want posters to put on their walls. So just make sure you ask him that for me. And that's a serious question too. Because I told my daughter, I thought you said you didn't like that artist anymore. She said, I'm waiting for the Colton Dixon posters. So I want to let you know that. He has 2 fans over here. So, and also too.
It's so crazy.
I know.
So
and what a blessing what God is doing for him.
I know him so well. He's like the most regular person in the world. To think that we've gotten used to this whole it comes you're not searching for fame, but it comes with it. Or I don't even like calling it fame because we're doing this for the Lord. But that notoriety or people know who you are, and it's the craziest thing when you meet fans because you're like, wow, this dude is the most normal person in the world. I promise you that. If you were only meet him in real life, so it's really cool. But if I get to talk to him, I'll let him know.
Thank you. Now, do you all get a chance, although you're working hard, do you all get a chance to go out and have fun and just go eat? Or are you guys just always cooped up in your hotel or wherever they have you staying?
It's crazy. We were most of the time cooped up together in a van, either at the record label, at CBS Studios filming, or at the hotel. But it seemed like we always had the night to go eat dinner together. So, like, the restaurants that are on the corner of, like, was it Wilshire or Sunset Boulevard that we recorded on the hotel was on. Well, every restaurant there we kind of had like every day of the week. So like I think we hit all those spots, and that's kind of it's kind of the life you live. I mean, and I loved it though. I think LA is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to go back very soon, go over there, and just chill out. Maybe take a little bit of vacation, but we. Not too many opportunities to go and hang out because, we had a lot of work to do every day, every single day. But definitely to go to dinner together and stuff, we always were able to accomplish that.
Now, when a person is eliminated from the show, do you go home immediately? Do they give you an opportunity to go out to dinner with them? Or do they just say, okay, you're off the show now, go pack up your stuff and it's time to go home? How does that happen? What happens behind the scenes?
I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but it literally is. Like, you get eliminated, they take you to a different room and you don't even see anybody anymore. Like, that's it. Like, the moment I got eliminated, they took me to the back room with the producers and with like psychiatrists and stuff to make sure I was okay, and they sent me home. I mean, they make you wake up to do press early in the morning the next day, like 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, and then as soon as that's over, they send you on first class to New York on a flight to go do the Today Show and live with Kelly and Michael. So that part of it's cool, but it definitely stunk that as soon as I got eliminated, I didn't get to see. And Colton was my roommate. I didn't even get to see him. I didn't get to say goodbye.
Really?
The last time I saw them was on the stage. That moment that we were crying, that was it. I got booted off the stage. They took me backstage to a different room, and that was it.
Oh, wow. I thought they'd take you all out to eat so you can say your goodbyes and, have a whole kumbaya moment. So how do you, after you get used to that, because you guys are doing photo shoots and you're doing commercials and you're signing autographs and everybody know your name, they're screaming your name, and all of a sudden, how do you decompress from that? When you got a stylist and they doing your makeup and your hair and you're just feeling real fabulous and feeling real famous right now. How do you decompress from that?
You know, they can really give you that life of fame and everything that celebrities get. You know, when you're over there, you're in a bubble. They call it, when you make the top 24, they say, we're going to put you in this bubble. We will protect you forever, and we're going to give you everything that you could possibly want. And that bubble is such a beautiful thing. And I got to be honest with you, I got so caught up in that bubble, and I think we all did. Once we got off the show, you know, it's such a reality check. The moment you get off, after you beat out 100,000 people, made it to the top 12 of the show, you've been doing this for a year, and then all of a sudden it just stops in one instant. It tore me apart. I mean, I remember crying like I've never cried in my life. That night, I tried to be so strong in front of the producers, but the moment that I got to that hotel room, I called my family. Thank God my dad was there, because I was broken. I remember leaving to New York. I don't think I've ever been depressed, like, honestly, the rest of my life, and I've got to be honest with you, I was. For a good month after the show, I couldn't watch the show when I got home, even though it was still going and all the weeks were still left. It took me a while to be able to adjust back into it, because it was rough, and you know, thank God for his love and for his, the peace that surpasses every understanding, because I honestly, if I wouldn't have had God in that moment, it would have been something even more terrible than it was. So, but then you get over it, and then you realize that you don't have to listen to American Idol, and you can do as many shows or events and still meet your fans, and that there's 22 million people that watch the show, and that you have a fan base, and that you can move on from this, you know what I mean? And that you have people on Twitter, on Facebook, you know, people that have been buying your music, people that have been supporting you, people that send you fan mail, people that love you unconditionally, and it's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, I look at myself sometimes in my situation and where I am now, and I'm like, wow, God, this is really unbelievable. I have been so blessed, so utterly blessed, like beyond my wildest imagination. You know, so many people dream about things that I've got to experience, and only because of the favor of God in my life, I've been able to get these things and accomplish these things. And I mean, I feel like $1 million when I think about it like that. When I think about how much the Lord has truly blessed me, it's like no sadness, nothing like that. Once I got to that point where I was sure that God was going to keep me from here on out, I was good. I was good to go.
Now, once the lights go down, as they say, does it leave you now chasing the fame because you got so used to it? Because, you know, sometimes when people have been in the spotlight and all of a sudden now the lights are off, now they're trying to chase that feeling again because they want that spotlight again. Do you think that might happen to some contestants?
You know what, it does. And that's so sad. You know, I got to be honest with you again. You know, when I got off the show, I was ready to go make the next Justin Bieber type music and be a celebrity and be famous and find that spotlight again, because it was all on me, you know what I mean? And I got so used to it, and I fell in love with it. And it's so sad because you can lose yourself in it. And of course, I'm sure it's happened with different contestants throughout the season. But at some point, you get that reality check and you click back into place. And I believe the moment where God changed everything for me, I was on TBN, on Praise the Lord, with Pastor Donnie McClurkin. And I really believe that God spoke to me through that man and just telling me exactly. But I knew what I was supposed to be doing. And there was no need for me to be chasing other things if God was my everything. And if I truly trusted him, there was no reason for me to be chasing this secular life. And in that moment, that instant, I remember, I believe it was that week, I came back from New York, and I told my manager, and I told my mother and my father, my team, I said, I can't do this anymore. I will not do this anymore. I'm gonna do what God has called me to do. I'm gonna go into Christian music because I'm gonna do something that's gonna give God glory. And I'm not gonna be this. I'm not gonna keep chasing this fame. This isn't working out for me. I'm gonna lose myself. It's only gonna lead me down like a road of destruction, and I'm not gonna do it. And I remember that moment that I decided that, and I told my team, I tell you, the doors flew open. I mean, in every which way you could imagine. I have done things off the show that some of the contestants that, I'm not saying that I'm better or anything, but only because of the favor of God have I accomplished, I believe, so much more than even some of the other contestants that made it so much farther than I did. Wow. So, yeah, that was the life-changing decision.
What a great testimony. That's a great testimony. I'm so glad you shared that. Are you watching this season now? Are you currently watching American Idol?
I am. I mean, I'm a huge fan of American Idol. I always have been. So, I think your next question is probably who was my favorite.
Yep,
right?
you know it.
I do this a little quite a bit sometimes, and American Idol was kind of so. But anyway, Candace is a good friend of mine that I still speak with. So of course I'm supporting her 100%. I think she's absolutely incredible, one of the best students that's ever been on American Idol. My next choice is definitely Angie Miller. I love how she shows her love for God and does her music, goes cultish music, does all these Christian songs on American Idol, and they just have to accept it because that's just what she wants to do. So I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love them both, but I definitely love Angie, and I love her spirit, and I love the fact that she's representing the Lord Jesus Christ. But we want to talk about you now, and we're going to talk about your brand new single. Let's talk about it. Tell us the title, Don't Be Afraid, and tell us the inspiration behind it.
Don't be afraid, man. You know, to be honest, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that nobody really knows. It was entitled "Don't Be Afraid." When we first started writing the song, it was titled "Leave It All Behind." And when we got into the studio with Pablo Villasaro, formerly of Grupo Crew, who produced the record with Victor Encarnacion, and he's actually rapping on the record with me. You know, we got together and we kind of came up with "Don't Be Afraid." Rhythmically in the hook, it was so much better and it hit so much harder. But more than that, it's more of like an anthem, you know what I mean? And we go through so many things in life that can hurt us. People hurt us. You know, I put something on Instagram just a few minutes ago. It says, Jesus healed. There's 2 Band-Aids that over, like a cross, shaped into a cross. And it said, you know, don't be afraid to, because Jesus does heal. He heals the hurt. He heals the wound. He heals the all the pain. And you might have a scar, but scars only are there to remind us. When we look down and we've forgotten that there was a scar, we look down and we see it, that's only to remind us that he is real and that he has healed us. And this song was really just an anthem of encouragement. Don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to put your guard down. Don't be afraid to love on people again. Don't be afraid to move forward because the Lord will always be with you. You know, you don't have anything to be afraid of. Just keep going, move on, live happy, live blessed. And that was really the whole thing behind this song of ours. So yeah.
So if people wanted to pick up the song, where can they go and get it?
You can get down. Don't Be Afraid. You can download it on iTunes. It's available now, or Google Play Market, or Amazon, eMusic, MySpace Music. I mean, everywhere online where music's available. It's already for sale and download. And for a limited time, you can get my EP album, which features 2 extra songs, Drown Me Out and Save Me, on my website, jeremyrosado.com. You can order a physical copy from there. They send it out, autographed this stuff. So that's cool. And just follow me on Twitter, jrosado AI11, and Facebook, and you know, you'll be able to find everything.
I know that's right. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Your testimony was so inspiring, and thank you so much for giving us the behind the scenes of American Idol. I'm sure everyone definitely appreciated that. And again, Jeremy, thank you so much. We want to make sure that everyone go online today, pick up the single, Don't Be Afraid, everywhere music is sold online. Jeremy, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you guys so much. God bless you. Thank you so much, Roland. You have a blessed one.
You too, Jeremy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.